Hi, good afternoon, folks. This is Rajiv S. Khanna from immigration.com, the law offices of Rajiv S. Khanna, PC. This is our weekly, every Thursday, community conference call. I've been doing this for the last couple of decades, 20 years or so. These days, we are doing one Thursday on LinkedIn audio and the second Thursday on our conference bridge. Both are at 12:30 Eastern Time, 12:30 p.m. And the conference bridge number is 202-800-8394. It's all on LinkedIn. You can also follow us on social media. Okay, with that said, when you logged in, you heard certain disclaimers. These calls are subject to those disclaimers. I'm gonna make sure that you guys can hear me okay. So that's the first order of business.
The conference is now in conversation mode.
Can you all hear me okay, guys? Can you all hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
The conference is now in presentation mode.
Okay, so what the format of the conference will be like this. I will first answer the questions that have been posted, and within those questions, I'll answer first the questions I have marked as frequently asked questions. And there is two of them, which I think are important for us to preserve as frequently asked questions. Each time I answer a question, I will invite any follow-ups on that question. No new questions. Once I'm done answering all the posted questions, then we will start with the new question. That takes about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Half an hour into the meeting, I will close the conference because I want to make sure people who are here, I'm able to answer their questions. First time we did this on LinkedIn, we had 700 people. So it was impossible to discuss cases with people in any detail. I stayed for 3 hours and I was still only able to do maybe 10% of the cases. So what we try to do is to restrict just to the people who are here so I can answer their questions. With that said, let me get started. The first frequently asked question is everybody has asked us. Legal options and factors for a future stay in the US if not selected in H1B lottery, master's degree, passport renewal, various issues related to that. But let me begin first with the what happens if I don't get selected in the lottery. So now you have three sets of options. Of course, you could go back to your home country and keep applying for H1B from there every time there's a lottery. But even better, you could look for a quota exempt H1B. Okay, so the first option is a quota exempt H1B. What is a quota exempt H1B? It is for those jobs that are with, number one, non-profit research organizations. Remember, non-profit research. It can be social research, it can be geological research, geographical research, scientific research, political research, any kind of research. Okay, non-profit research organization. Your job does not have to be research. You could be a database administrator, or you could be a BI analyst. Your job doesn't have to be involved in that, but you are basically supporting such a company. Also remember, even though, let's say your employer is a staffing company, a consulting company, and they place you to work at a nonprofit research organization, even though your employer is for profit, because you are working at a nonprofit organization that is doing research, your job is quota exempt. So this is an important point to remember. Okay, so first type, nonprofit research. Second type, federal or state government research organization. Okay, third type is institutions of higher learning. By the way, higher learning simply means bachelor's degree. It doesn't have to be PhDs. And the fourth kind of organization at which jobs would be quota exempt is institutions, nonprofit institutions that are affiliated with institutions of higher learning. We have many school systems in the country, we represent some of them, who have tie-ups with local community colleges. And because they are affiliated, the teachers they hire or the database administrator they hire or any other even non-teaching job they hire for becomes quota exempt. So your first option is to find a quota exempt job. Okay. First option is, of course, to go back to your home country. Second option is to find a quota exempt job. Third option, if you want to just temporarily stay for a few months, is B1, B2 visa. And if you want the details of that, go to immigration.com, and that's our website, and look for my blog. It's on the very top ribbon. And about fifth or sixth entry from the top is about B1, B2 for employees who are past their 60-day grace period or getting past their 60-day grace period. But the basic criteria are the same for applying for a B1, B2. Okay, so B1, B2 would be an option for you, but that's a temporary stay. Going back to school, just going back to a degree that is which allows you to do curricular practical training, that would be another option. I have a bunch of articles on CPT again on my blog. You can take a look at that. So I'm just going through the alphabet soup. We did B, C, we did F. We didn't do E. So some countries have a treaty trader, treaty investor option. India does not. Pakistan does. Bangladesh does. Many of the other countries do. You can invest $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 and basically stay here to manage your investment forever. There is no limit to how many times you can renew your treaty trader, treaty investor visa. And your spouse will also get work authorization. So oftentimes what happens is one spouse manages the investment. The other spouse, based upon the employment authorization, gets a job and they do their green card and the couple gets a green card. So that's E. So we did B, E, F. Let's see, G visa, that's if you have an employment with one of the international organizations like the World Bank, IMF. That's a G visa. H, I, J. J visa is, and there are many organizations in this country who will get you opportunities for internship, which is a paid internship, subject to a J visa. But be careful, J visas can sometimes be subject to home residency requirement, which means you have to go back for 2 years to your home country. And that can get a little tricky. So be sure that you know what you're heading into. J visa. K visa is fiance and spouses of US citizens. So K1, K3, that we're not going to talk about. L visa, of course, is one of my favorites until this morning. This morning we noticed that L1, which leads to EB1 green card, has all of a sudden, for India, it has gone back 10 years, which is most unfortunate. Okay, so we got L covered, MNOPQRSTUV. UVV is the last visa. Okay, so none of the others are that relevant. However, if you or your spouse were born in a country other than India, where the dates are not that badly retrogressed, you should also look at the green card options. Okay, so those are the options in a nutshell. Now, anyone has a follow-up question on any of what I just discussed, press *5. Press *5 on your phone. Any follow-up questions on this? Okay, I have one follow-up question. Let's see, this is from area code 217, Illinois. Okay, Illinois, go ahead, I can hear you.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Yeah. So I'm considering applying for a B2 visa, and I'm on H1B visa that started in October 2022.
Ji.
I just want to know, like, will the approval or rejection of my B2 visa impact my H1B in any way?
It will not. Okay, now let me tell you something really gross and unhappy about B2 visas. Okay. So maximum time you can ask for these days, B2 is about 6 months. Okay, you cannot ask for more than 6 months. But the processing time of B2 is anywhere from 7 to 10 months or maybe more. So in other words, they will never decide your case while you're still in the United States. But you can continue to stay.
Okay.
There are other complications, but
Okay, so that.
let me finish because I want to make a particular point. So let's say that you get into the 5th month and you still need to stay another 6 months. Make sure you file a second application while the first one is still pending. All of this is explained in my blog entry. Okay?
Okay.
Anything else? Go ahead. You were saying something else when I interrupted you.
No, that was it. You answered it. Thank you.
Very good. Good luck, ma'am. Okay. Now let me answer. Oh, there is area code 857 has a question. Please remember, this is not the time for new questions. I'm only answering follow-up questions on what I just discussed. So if it's a new question, please put down your hand, press *5 again. We are not doing new questions. That will be at the end of the call. So 857 is Massachusetts. Okay, Massachusetts, go ahead. I can hear you.
Yeah, hi Rajiv ji. So the follow-up on that, I have, if you are already transferring your H1B, and if I'm on a grace period, and can I also file B1 B2 while my H1 transfer petition is
file it, but
process?
File it, but withdraw it as soon as your H1 is approved. Okay. The reason for that is, and they have a really lame rule called last action rule. So if you have B and H pending together, H gets approved, but then B gets approved. Last action is B, so you become B visa holder.
And if I have a H1B process like a regular, not the premium, would you recommend?
Yeah, I mean, it has advantages. It has advantages, and if we go with statistically, H1 will get approved sooner, in a couple of months, hopefully, and B2 should take longer time. So it should be okay. But you know what? Premium processing is better. And remember, an employee can offer to pay for it if they are requesting it for their own benefit. There's no law that says only the employer has to pay for it. So I would offer to pay for it if I were you. Okay?
Okay.
Anything
and
else?
Within the transfer period, 2 to 3 months, do my payroll need to run, or
no, it does not.
If it's fine, or in the transfer period, if I find another employer who can file the H1B, do I need a payroll?
No, you do not. So let's say you have 60 days of grace period. On 31st day, employer X filed for you. On 38th day, employer Y filed for you. And on 59th day, employer Z filed for you. All three of them are valid. You can join any of them when they are approved. And because they're all filed in grace period, if X fails, no problem. Y fails, no problem. Z or Z gets approved, good enough. So the only problem occurs when your H1B is filed outside the 60-day grace period. Then things get a lot more complicated.
Yeah, outside the 60 days. So if Z file it on 59 days, but if I received after, like, outside of my grace period, another employer file my H1B, then it can create a problem.
Yeah, that was not problem. Then the math is that then let's say, now let's change the hypothetical. X filed on the 59th day, Y filed on 61st day, and Z or Z filed on the 70th day. Last two were filed outside your 60-day grace period. If you want to work for Z, X must be approved, Y must be approved, and then Z must be approved. Okay? Because you need to have a bridge petition. Okay, these are called bridge petitions. What happens if the bridge breaks? You just have to go for visa stamping. It's not the end of the world. Okay?
Got it.
Good luck.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so let me answer the rest of the questions posted in. Oh, what did I just do? Okay, so now Sean, who has posted, no, not Sean, sorry. This question was posted by Rahul Patel. Rahul is an old customer. I have been talking to Rahul, I don't know, for 10 years. Okay, so Rahul says, but maybe this is the new Rahul. That other Rahul is almost done. Yeah, this is the new Rahul. Educational background, Bachelor of Science, graduate, currently holding STEM OPT until May 2024. H1B, no luck. What happens next? I already discussed that. Enroll in a university for master's degree or PhD. I have finished my bachelor's degree in the US and I take day 1 CPT. Once master's degree is complete, reapply for OPT and STEM OPT. OPT can only be applied at the next higher level. So if your first OPT was at master's degree, then another OPT would only occur at next higher, which is PhD. My passport expires. That's really not a big problem. Just you can do expedited passport processing also. So I don't think that should be a big deal. You should be okay there. Okay. Star 5 if there's any other question related to what I just discussed now. Okay. In about 13 minutes, I'll lock the conference because they have enough people here to answer, So, okay. Next frequently asked question is, this is also very important. Transfer an approved H1B selected in the lottery to a new employer before October 1st. Can you do it? In my opinion, you can. There are some lawyers who say, well, you should have worked for the lottery employer for at least 1 day on or after October 1st. I disagree. I think that as long as your H1B is not revoked before October 1st, you should be able to transfer. So let's say your H1B was approved by Amazon, who won the lottery for you, and then there were massive layoffs in Amazon. But let's say IBM says, oh, you are a whiz kid at data science and artificial intelligence. We want to hire you. And they transfer your H1B. You can, as long as Amazon doesn't cancel or revoke your H1B before October 1st, this H1B will be valid starting October 1st. Okay, the IBM H1B. So that's the way I see it. I don't know of any definitive word from the USCIS about you must work for the sponsoring employer. If I remember correctly, the regulations don't require it, and the government cannot make up stuff as they go along. Okay. Star 5, if you have a follow-up question, star 5. Okay. You know what? We have a lot of people. Let me just lock the conference now, because otherwise I won't be able to answer everybody's questions. Let's just lock it.
The conference is now locked.
Yeah, I locked about 10 minutes early, but I think we need to do that. Okay, next question. I don't think there are any more frequently asked questions. Now let me get started with the regular questions, and I should be able to get them done very quickly. Work-related trips on H4EAD options for Canada-based residency. I'm on H4EAD. Good till 2025. I moved to Canada, got the permanent residence. I intend to come back to the US after I complete my residency requirements for 3 years. I still work for the US employer. Can I visit US for my work-related trips on H4? To the best of my knowledge, I don't see any problem as long as you don't actually work in the United States. Okay? I don't see any problem with that. Star 5. If you have a follow-up question on this, press star 5. Okay. Next question is, how do we specify our names on the forms and US documents? Because in India, or the Indian passport, there is a huge mix-up because Indian passport lists, oh, there is a follow-up question. You've got to be a little quick about this, guys. I'll come back and answer that follow-up question, but this makes a mess of the recording for us. So Indian passport Given name is, so in the Indian passport, first and middle name are given under given name. So I think you should split them up as last name, first name, middle initial or middle name, as you normally would in US. I would go with the US way to do it. Okay, that's the way I would do it. And if push comes to shove, at some point it becomes problematic, you can always do a formal name change under the laws of the state in the United States where you are living. Check with the Indian consulate. Will they be able to renew your passport with the new name? But basically, the judge orders the name change. And most of these cases are very simple. I don't think you even need a lawyer for them. Contact the local court system. You should be able to change your name. But I would begin by using the American name style. And if at any point it becomes a problem, then do a formal name change. *5 if you have any question. I see you 775 area code. I'll just get to you in 1 second. Anybody else has a question on this, what I just discussed? Okay. Let me go to area code 775, which is Nevada. Okay. Yeah, Nevada, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Hello, Rajiv. Thank you for this. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Rajiv. So this question is related to the previous one. I'm sorry, I was a few seconds late.
No problem.
Mm-hmm. My daughter is 18-year-old. She's in college in H4.
Mm-hmm.
And she came with a question to me saying that there is a website where she can upload her notes and they will pay her for the notes.
No.
She wants to know if she can do this.
She can't do that. She can't do that. That's probably considered to be unauthorized employment. It's really silly. There are some exemptions that used to be there for academic activities, but I don't think this is academic activity in the same sense. So I would avoid that. It's not really needed.
Even if she's uploading her high school notes?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Not for money.
Okay. That was my question.
Good luck. Good luck, sir. Yeah, I can imagine me trying to upload my notes. I can't even read my own handwriting. Okay, so next question. Okay, we did this one, the name change one. Then Rahul Patel was the frequently asked question. Kirti was another frequently asked question. Next one, we are going through this quite fast. Next one is EAD card application and new passport. What to do and potential implications. I'm on F1 status. I have a question regarding EAD cards. Applied for my EAD card. Oh, the passport renewal date issue, right? That's the problem here. If you have uploaded the new passport directly to the portal, I don't think you're going to have any problems, sir. You should be fine. Just the fact that you renewed your passport should not affect you. *5 if you have a follow-up question. Okay. Next one. Oh, there is a follow-up question. Area code 302, which is Delaware. Okay, let's go to Delaware. Yeah, Delaware, go ahead, please.
Hello, I have a similar situation wherein my passport renewal date is after I applied my EAD card.
Yeah.
Do I need to fill any special form?
No.
Upload the renewed passport?
Just upload the renewed passport copy.
Under the additional documentation.
Unsolicited documentation.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, unsolicited.
Yeah, I don't anticipate any problem. You'll be fine. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Next question. O1 visa sponsorship. Can I self-sponsor O1? Well, it's kind of interesting. A few people last year had approached me to do an O1 for a for a technology job. I think he was a UI UX designer. One of them was a singer, but they didn't have anybody who could act as an agent or an employer. So O1 cannot be done through yourself. It has to be done through an employer or an agent. And I had never heard of anybody using agents outside of the performing arts. So this gentleman who was a UI UX designer said, no, his friends were getting done. I said, look, the way I read the law, you need a real proper agent. You can't just make things up. But my friends are getting it. So, go to their lawyers, because I do things by the book. I don't do any shenanigans with the paperwork. Okay. We've never done it. For the last 31 years we've been practicing. We will never do it. We do everything by the book. So do you need a sponsor? Yes, you do. How long will I receive O1? No more than 3 years at first. And I believe, it is after that in 1 year increments. By the way, I don't think I've ever done an O1 extension. Why? Because within that time, we usually get the EB1A green card approved. Okay, which visa my spouse will get? Yeah, it's a derivative of O1. Will she be able to work? I don't think so. I do not believe that O1 or O3 has the same privileges as H4 does. To the best of my knowledge, no. I'm speaking off the top of my head. There's so many visas and so many conditions. *5. If you have a follow-up question, press *5. Okay, let's go on to the next one. And this one is about H1B amendment for change of work location, approval time, premium processing, and online tracking. H1B and LCA were filed for Washington location. I moved to Illinois. I'm working from my apartment in Illinois. Lawyer said they filed an amendment. How long does it take for an amendment to get approved? The same time as an original H1B. Can we expedite by premium? Yes, you can. Can I track the amendment online? Not unless your lawyers or your employer give you the proper information, the receipt number, etc. *5. If you have a follow-up question, press *5. Okay, this one is from area code 917. So let me check. This is New York. Okay, let's go to New York. Go ahead, sir. I can hear you.
Hi, Rajiv ji. Thanks. So amendment is a two-part process, right? First, the employer gonna file for LCA. Once that is approved, then they move on to the I-129 process, right?
Yes, sir.
And then I'm assuming I have my new LCA already approved because the lawyer mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, and it hardly takes 10-15 minutes to get approved online these days. So
I think it takes about 7 business days or 7 days.
Right. So it's been like 15-20 days. So I'm assuming my LCA process has already been done. Right. The first part is done.
Mm-hmm.
And given, as per regulation, I need to post the LCA at my location.
Yes.
For a total of 10 days before I start actually working.
No. Dangerous. Little knowledge is dangerous always. So there's a whole lot of stories behind working from home. First of all, Department of Labor has indicated they will not enforce posting notices at home. That's just stupid. Okay. Nevertheless, we still do it. And the law doesn't require you to wait 10 days before you can start working. The way it works is, let me give you the workflow in our office. We get the paperwork, draft is prepared, I look it over, discuss it with the clients, make sure everything is in order. First thing we do is we tell the clients, here is the notice. As soon as you've posted it, email us. The moment they email us, the notice is posted, we file the LCA. Okay. And the LCA arrives, notice stays posted for 10 business days. We don't care about that. The notice just has to be posted before we file the LCA. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So in my case, I already moved to a home, like a remote location, and then I told my employer. And
you should talk with your lawyers about the timing, etc. of the LCA posting notices. But Department of Labor has indicated that they don't intend to seriously enforce any of those home posting requirements.
Got it. And for the part 2, which is like I-129, it should be okay with it, right? Like we don't need to provide any additional documentation for the LCA process, right?
No. You don't have to substantiate with notices and all. You just give the LCA.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck. Okay, next one. Let's see. Where are we? We did this one. Then Shreyas. Academic suspension. You know, I got your email. Sumanji had forwarded to me your email. And I saw that you had posted on the discussion as well. So I said, might as well talk to you here. So the problem is, once the EAD is approved, I don't know of any way to get it back. Now what you can do is, let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me review your facts. My intended graduation date was May 23. You applied for EAD. My final exam, my professor accused me of cheating. Academic suspension. I'm no longer eligible to utilize my OPT. It's been already approved. Yeah, that's true. I don't think you can do anything. You know what you can do is, these are really grasping at straw kind of deals. You can try contacting the help, the customer support at USCIS. They should probably send you to a level 2 officer and you ask them that question. I think they'll answer that. Once it's been approved, it's gone. Okay. You can also open a case with US Ombudsman's office. Ombudsman, O-M-B-U, B as in boy, U, D as in doctor, Ombudsman, okay, M-A-N. Open a case with them, say, this is a weird situation, can you please reach out to the USCIS, get my EAD cancelled so that I can use it again. I don't think you can, but that's the best we can do. There is a problem with these regulations. Okay. *5. If you have a follow-up question, press *5. Okay. Let me go on to the next question. This one is about staying legal in the US without a job, green card processing, EAD, and travel. I have my green card through marriage to a US citizen processing while I'm here on H1B. I have also received my EAD card with AP. If I lose my current job, can I still stay legal? Oh, absolutely. You have your EAD approval. You can actually do anything or nothing if you want. If you want to sit at home and watch movies all day, that's fine. If you want to pump gas while you keep applying for jobs, or work in a totally different job, let's say you are a software developer and you want to work construction or home building, that's perfectly fine because you have an EAD. You see, you are not forced to have a job in the US. You can just sit at home and drink beer all day if that's what you like to do. Okay, and you can absolutely travel because you have advanced parole. *5. If you have a follow-up question, press *5. Okay. Next question is job change multiple 485s, EB2, EB3 categories. Employer A got an I-140 EB2. Employer B filed I-140 EB3 and 485. How did they do that? I guess they got another POM approved. I'm hoping that's what you're saying, because otherwise they can't file an I-140 without having an approval of an underlying POM application. Okay. So received EAD AP, stayed with employer B for more than 2 years. Came back to employer A, started working on green card EAD which I obtained through employer B. Employer A filed 485J as well as fresh I-485 using the previously filed I-140 EB2. Yeah, I would just do the 485Js. I would do probably both 485Js because nobody really knows how to work these situations. Why take a chance? File 485Js for both. It doesn't cost you any money. Why not? *5 if you have a follow-up question on this. Next question is about H1B to E2 visa. E2 is investor visa, okay? Not for every country. India doesn't have E2 treaty with the United States. Many countries do. Most European countries do. Canada does, and I already mentioned Bangladesh, Pakistan, etc. Oh man, they have some construction going. Sorry about the noise, guys. I'm a Canadian citizen on H1 status with an August 2017 EB2 priority date, born in India. Can I transfer to E2? Absolutely, you can. You can still keep your priority date, sure. Can I also do a TN? Can I do a E2 visa at the entry port? No. E2 visa has to be done through the consulate. And this is one of the two exceptions for Canadians. Canadians don't need visas except K and E2. Can I start an IT consulting business and provide consulting services while on E2 visa? Complicated. Talk to me or talk to another lawyer. It can be done. Different options and risks for applying for adjustment of status while on E2. As long as there is only one problem I have with this scenario. The EB2 or the green card based upon PERM is based upon a permanent job. If the employer lets you leave and you leave, is there really a permanent job? So, I mean, those are some of the things that you should talk to your lawyers. These are very fact-specific things. But as long as you cover those grounds, your priority date is yours forever. It doesn't go away, okay? You could even do a new green card through another employer and transfer the priority date. So there's a lot of latitude there. *5, if you have a follow-up question, press *5. Okay, and there is one from area code 510, which is California. Yeah, California, go ahead, I can hear you.
Hi, Rajiv. Thanks for taking my call. So when you mentioned that if the current employer is okay, maybe 5-10 years from now, when I come back, he can apply for the green card at that time, then it's not an issue, right? I can leave and then do whatever my business.
Let us parse that carefully. Okay, first of all, green card job is given based upon a permanent position. Let's call that position CTO, Chief Technology Officer, okay? So they offered you the job as a CTO, then you left. The government could question, when you left, did the CTO job disappear? One possible answer is, when you were gone, that job was taken up by somebody else, but it was always yours for whenever you came back, okay? Another answer is that the CTO job was shared by 3 directors, or the VP delivery and the QA team lead, and 3 people joined to take care of that job. The essence of maintenance of the green card is that your job did not disappear. If the job disappeared for even one day, it ceased to exist. Your green card through that employer is gone. They have 2 choices. They can start the green card all over again for whatever job and carry the priority date from the old case, but they do have to start the perm again. Okay, so this is tricky. Just make sure that ground is covered. Have a detailed discussion with your lawyers, because I don't know your situation. You're welcome to consult us. Bring me the entire background. Show me the labor cert, etc. I'll take a look at it. But I think that would be the only thing that would bother me in this scenario. Is there a permanent job, and did it ever disappear? If that did not happen, you can continue with the same green card, or if you decide to go with another employer or the same employer, you can start another new green card with this old priority date. Does this make sense?
Yeah. So in most cases, green card is for future employment, right?
Exactly.
Like something.
Yeah, but the job exists today and must exist all the way to getting the green card.
Okay.
Job is not in the future. Job is now. It is available to you in the future.
Okay.
All right.
So when I say that a consulting, so another thing.
Yeah, that's something I would not be able to cover it in this call.
Okay.
Talk to me separately. Consulting businesses, E2s are very difficult, but it can be done. Okay.
Okay then.
Good luck. All right, bye-bye. Okay, so then we come to, okay, I think these are the two last questions. Perm filing with overlapping employment dates, material misrepresentation. I worked for two companies at the same time. 51 days overlapped for two USA companies. While I'm sitting in India, no concurrent H1B was filed. Well, if you worked for two companies concurrently while in India, there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly legal. Okay? Discuss it with your lawyers, but outside India, if you worked for even three companies without filing an additional H1B, I don't see any problem with it. Yeah? I have 10 years of experience. If my perm position requires 1 year, do I still need to mention all the experience? Why are you worried about the experience? Let it overlap. Nothing wrong with it. Okay. Star 5, if you have a follow-up question. Star 5. All right. Next question, which is the last one. Legal stay and work after H1B 6-year limit. Okay. I'm on H1B. I finished my 6 years October 23. I-140 is in process. What are my options to legally stay and work? Unless you have some recapture time, you'll have to leave for a little while. Can I move to B1, B2 and come back to H1? Yeah, you can. Can I transfer H1 to F1 CPT? Yes, you can. How much time can it take to get PERM approval if I file in July? I don't know the answer to that question. I would say it depends. If the case is not audited, maybe 4 to 6 months. If it is audited, it could take longer. If it is audited and then put under supervised recruitment, even longer. So there are some variables. Okay. Star 5. If you have a follow-up question on this, press star 5. Anyone has any question, please press star 5. Anyone has any question, please press star 5. I'll call upon you in the order that you logged in to the conference, okay? The first one who logged in is Texas. So let me go to area code 979. 979, go ahead, I can hear you.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Actually, recently I got into some charge like a class C misdemeanor, which is like a criminal offense but of a low class, equivalent to a parking ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So it was of a theft, but it is a crime of moral turpitude. Like I have been searching on Google.
Yeah, this is not.
So
this
how
is
would
not.
it affect
This is.
me later? So
Hang on. Let's just be straight about something. This is not like a traffic ticket. This is far worse. Okay, so keep going. So you
Yes.
got a misdemeanor charge. Then what happened?
Yes, so it's a class C misdemeanor of theft basically. So it's basically worse than a speeding ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm currently on my F1 visa,
Mm-hmm.
and I am just going for my CPT and thinking of going back home.
Mm-hmm.
So will it affect my immigration chances, like while I come to my
Okay,
home
so-
from my home country, from India to US?
These are my standard instructions to
And
everyone.
OPT
Hang on,
or
sir.
H1B?
Let me finish first. The first question first. These are my standard instructions to everyone who has any kind of conviction or charge. Always first consult a lawyer who practices deportation defense. Okay? Immigration lawyer who does
Okay.
deportation defense in the state in which the conviction or the charge occurred. So if you live in Illinois and the charge occurred in Pennsylvania, you need to get a Pennsylvania deportation lawyer. Why? Because they know the criminal statutes far better than somebody like me who has to go read up on the local statutes. Okay? On top of that, it's probably unethical for me to comment about the laws of Pennsylvania if I am admitted in Virginia and DC. Federal law, we can talk about the whole country. But state law should be discussed with lawyers who are admitted in that state. So that's the first thing you need to do. check with local lawyers. Okay. Now, in misdemeanor cases, there should not be any big deal. If the lawyer gives you the green flag, just take a letter from the lawyer explaining that this is a misdemeanor and the sentence actually imposed was less than 6 months, etc. Those are the rules and the regulations. As long as those things occur, you should not have any problem coming back. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Anything else?
And this happened recently, like 2-3 days back only.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have to pay my dues. If I pay my dues, they will convict me. And there's a option of deferred disposition and getting it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into. I'm not gonna get into that, because there are so many variations in the theme of what deferred inspection means. Deferred adjudication means. You need to talk to a local lawyer. I'm not going to comment on that. Okay. It is unethical. Unethical.
I can come back, right?
I already said that.
Okay, sir. And with H1B also, will it cause any trouble?
No, I don't think so. I don't see any issue with it. Another thing I'm thinking is, for your future jobs, you should get your record expunged. Yes, okay? Get your record expunged, which means when you apply for a job anywhere, you never have to say yes to have you ever been convicted of any crime. You can say no because your record has been expunged. Okay? Now, but for immigration, you will always say yes, because expungement doesn't mean anything for immigration law.
Yes, that's what I was thinking, but it can cause, it won't cause trouble, like you said.
No, I don't. I have done probably upwards of 500 cases with criminal convictions. No problems.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
It's just my stress. I have been in stress for 2 days, sir.
No worries. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Good luck.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so you're welcome, sir. I have somebody from an anonymous phone number. So that could be because your voice over IP or whatever reason. So I'm selecting you next. Anonymous, go ahead, please.
Hi, I have a question about the L1 visa. So my question is whether the employer or the sponsor can make you pay back the visa sponsorship fees if you quit within a year, or if they impose some sort of time limit. I know for H1 they're not supposed to make you pay back the visa fees, but how about for L1? Thank you.
I think they can. Okay. But there are two components to your question. Hang on, let me just get some water. Okay, I've been talking nonstop. Give me 1 second. Good, I'm fully refreshed. Okay, so H1B having any kind of liquidated damages clauses is quite dangerous. Employers should not do it. But it can still be done. For L1, I do not know of any restriction why an employer cannot ask for a reimbursement. In other words, they can. However, the extent of it, etc., should be determined by local law, by state law. For example, I'll just give you a quick rundown on the law in this area, not to a specific state, but what it means. So normally, you cannot sue somebody until you have sustained some damage. So for example, if I'm driving my car and somebody brushed close by me, almost hit me but didn't quite hit me, I can't sue them because there's no damage. Okay? Unless there is damage, you can't sue people. But there are certain kind of situations in which we anticipate there'll be damage. That's called liquidated damages. For example, if you are the CTO of my company, I'm depending upon you, and in our employment clause, I can actually put a restriction. If you leave me without a 3-month notice, you have to pay me back $150,000 because that's how much damage I think I will sustain. So the damage has not yet occurred, but we decided the amount. That's called liquidated damages clause. Liquidated damages clauses are very tricky. Most states don't like them because they restrict your right to be able to change jobs freely. So they have to be drafted very carefully, but they can be done. So the employer can place the restriction. What is the value of that restriction depends upon the state law. Get yourself a nice, good, well-experienced employment lawyer. Have a consultation and see what they suggest. Okay, make sense?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Good luck. Okay, let's go on to Texas, which is area code 469. Just to give you a countdown, guys, we have a total of 7 people still waiting. Oh, there are 2 people from Texas. 469. I don't know which one I unmuted. 469. I unmuted 469 664. 469 66.
Hi, Rajiv.
Hello, sir. Yeah, go ahead.
I had a question in regards to something you mentioned earlier. So I'm on H1B currently, and I was laid off.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned one of the possible routes is to go through day one CPT and going back on F1 visa.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So my question is that if I go back on F1 visa using day one CPT, and if I had my STEM OPT unused while I was actually while actually moved to the US on F1 visa, I didn't use my STEM OPT. So can I reuse that post my day one CPT?
Not beyond a certain time, and not unless you go to the next higher level of education. I'll tell you what the problem is. I wasn't aware of this issue until I started thinking about it, and then one of the DSO said, yeah, that's probably the way it would work. So let me explain to you how this works. First of all, STEM OPT extension means there is first an OPT. So if you don't have OPT, you can't have OPT extension. Correct? Good logic so far?
Correct.
Okay. So let's say, and the second principle you need to remember is that you cannot get OPT again at the same education level. So if you did a bachelor's and have 1 year of OPT, you cannot get 1 year of OPT again at another bachelor's level. You have to go to master's level. Okay. So let's say you finished a master's degree in computer science and you had 1 year OPT. Now you have 2 year STEM OPT that you did not use. Now you went back to school and joined another master's degree. Can you recapture that STEM OPT? I don't think so. Why? Because you won't have the first year of OPT anymore. That I think is the problem. But you can double check this. I haven't verified this from more than one source, but this is the way I see the issue. The issue is not that you can't use that STEM OPT. The issue is you don't have OPT, therefore you can't do an extension of OPT. That's the problem. But if you go to PhD, you can certainly, yeah. So that's the way it would work. Good luck.
So a master's and MBA would qualify for the same.
They are the same level. Right? They are the same level, yeah.
Okay. And one last scenario in this. So like from an H1B, if I move to an F2 visa, my wife is a student here as well. And then from F2, I go to like a day one CPT visa once I find a job or something. And then once I find a job, they reinstate my H1B, which will be paused as soon as I move to F2, right?
Correct.
So do you see any complication in this part?
No.
Or would it be like...
No complication. No complication. You can.
So it is a possible enough.
Oh, absolutely. You can shift to F2 and shift back to, or shift to F2, shift to F1 CPT, then shift back to H1B. No problem at all. Okay?
Okay, got it. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. Good luck. Now the second number from Texas. I just unmuted you, Texas. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv ji.
Hello.
So I have a question. Suppose my green card process is ongoing and H1B days expire. Without approved I-140, can I extend my stay and work authorization in the US?
You might be able to if your POM application was filed a year ago. Okay, so there are two ways you can get H1B extension. One is based upon time, the other one is based upon the stage of your green card. The I-140 approval is the stage-based green card, H1B approval. Okay. The POM time-based approval says when we reach the first year of POM application, we can file 1 year extension. So time-based and stage-based are both available to you. Okay.
Okay. So I have one more question regarding this scenario. So my company, I was working for company X, and they had started my green card procedure, and I had got my POM approved. But after that, I got laid off, and they didn't file for my I-140. What if I join the company back, say 6 months from now? Can they directly file for my I-140?
नहीं, पर आपका तो POM expires after 6 months, no?
Oh, so if it's within 6 months, they can do that?
Yes, absolutely. And by the way, you don't have to be employed with the company for them to file the I-140. There's no such rule.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, let's go to New York, which is area code 917. Give me 1 second. 917, go ahead. I have about 3 or 4 more people after this. So go ahead, New York.
Hi, Rajiv ji. I have a question regarding overlapping H1B days.
Okay.
So there's a situation right now where I got a new job at company B starting September 1st. However, my current company, vesting period of my stocks will be September 30th. So there is I'm, as you know, I don't want to miss those stocks because it got vested after so long.
Let me stop you for a moment. So, two companies, X and Y. You are already working on H1B for X. Let's say that today you got an approval of H1B from company Y. Does that overrule your current H1B? No. Can you still continue working for this company? Yes. Can you join the other company 2 months later or 3 months later? Sure.
No, that was not my question, but my question was, can I join the company Y right now and still be employed with company X just to get those stocks vested?
You can't. You can't. No? That can't be done. You have to do a concurrent H1B for that.
दोनों हाथ में लड्डू
no दोनों हाथ में लड्डू no मुंह में is okay but not in both ends.
Oh, any panjiri. Okay, sir, no problem.
Yeah, that's right. Man, sometimes you can take a metaphor too far.
Right.
So no. But let me think about this for a moment. When you say be employed with company X, do you have to be on their payroll to get vested?
That's a good
Can you be on leave without pay?
So
because if you are on leave without pay, that's perfectly okay.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, yeah. Let me figure that out.
Yeah,
I think that is the only option.
Yeah. Other than that, the only other way is what you do is you've got your approval now with company Y. Tell X to amend your H1B to concurrent H1B. So, and that takes care of it. Okay.
Got it. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck. Let's go to Virginia, area code 571, my neighborhood. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, Rajiv ji. I'm Yakub.
Yes, sir.
So I'll explain you my background situation. That I was
Sure.
working with a company on H1B till December
Mm-hmm.
last year, and I got laid off
Mm-hmm.
by the end of December. After that, I joined a staffing company, and they transferred my H1B to them
Mm-hmm.
within the 60 days grace period time that need to be taken care of. They did file my H1B transfer, but I received an RFE on that by May.
Mm-hmm.
And since it was a staffing company, I had to find a client, and I was not able to find a client. And the reply date for RFE is end of this month.
Okay.
So looking into more options, I contacted some day one CPT DSOs, and they told me that I can go with the I-20 and get an admission into their university and continue my stay. So my question is that if I go ahead with that option and take an admission into the CPT University, and they recommended me to go to a land border and reactivate my service because my F1, the initial F1 which I came with, is valid till June 2024.
Right.
So what should be the case, given that my RFE is still there, what should I do about that? It should be withdrawn first,
yeah,
or should I just go to the border with my I-20?
Yeah, go to the border, and while you are on the other side and you've procured entry, you can tell your lawyers to withdraw your H1B.
Yeah, so that's my concern, because if the CBP officer at the border, he might have questions regarding my status.
You tell the truth, whatever the truth is. Only thing I would recommend, Yakub, is that when you take up a CPT course, make sure it is something that is useful. So today I was talking to somebody who has a degree in electronics engineering, and she said, well, I'm going to go and get CPT. I said, make sure you get CPT in something that is useful to your career. For example, you've done electronics. Let's say you now take a master's degree in robotics or in data science, if you're interested in artificial intelligence, or in, quantum computing type field, if you're interested in working with qubits rather than bits. So, there should be some enhancement in your career. It should not be like you're getting a degree in home economics. In India, they call it home science, which is basically how to manage the economics of your home. That's really not useful, and that, I think, becomes suspicious. So as long as you're genuinely enhancing your career.
Follow-up.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I have a follow-up question on that as well. So for that, for the D1 CPT process as well, I need an employer letter.
Yes.
Right? Or I can just get an admission through the I-20, or do I need an employer letter?
No. They won't give you the CPT without an employment letter.
Okay, so what if I don't have an employment letter? They will just admit me as an F1 student?
Yeah, just as an F1 student. Absolutely. You can take CPT in the next semester.
So my another question is, is that, once I get into CPT, and let's say in 6 months in future, I found an employer to transfer my H1B again. Is that possible?
Sure.
Given that my H1B is valid till 2025.
Absolutely. No problem at all.
But given that I have a RFE right now, will that affect?
Well, I don't know what the RFE is. So the RFE is about you, then that problem is not going to go away. But if the RFE is about the job or about the employer, then it has nothing to do with you. What do you care?
Okay.
So let me give you an example.
More detail on the RFE.
Let me give you an example. Let's say you didn't have any degree from USA. You have a degree from your home country, and that degree is not equivalent to a US bachelor's degree. So it's a problem with you, not with the job or with the employer. If the employer cannot get a contract for you or a project for you, that's a job problem or employer problem. Or if the employer is not able to show they are a genuine employer, that's the employer problem. That's not attached to you. You can change jobs, no problem. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this one concern is me to going to the border and I mean,
Yeah, I
if
can't
they pick up this question.
I can't predict what's going to happen at the border, but there are other people who do it. So you can ask around other people's experience. As far as I know, it has worked out for most people, but I can't predict what's going to happen. That's beyond my capability. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. Somebody is calling from India. Go ahead, please.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
My question is about H1B processing. Actually, my H1B is in review state since more than 6 months now. And the company did create a couple of service requests, but USCIS keeps saying that they are doing some kind of background. So, is there anything you can do in this situation?
Normally, what I recommend when it's over 6 months, it's not a bad idea to contact. The employer should contact their local congressman. Like in India, we have members of parliament, right? So they can contact their member of parliament, and they can actually be helpful in these situations. Okay.
Okay. Can it convert into premium processing, or it's not advisable?
I don't think that will make a difference, but yeah, you can certainly try that as well.
Okay.
The reason it won't make a difference is if it's a background investigation issue, they can take their time. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Last question is from Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. Georgia, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv ji.
Hello.
I asked my question on LinkedIn previously, and you referred me to the call. So I am currently on STEM OPT, and my perm labor certification is completed, and my employer wants to file I-140 for my EB2 process. But they are warning me that I shouldn't travel internationally.
Okay. Are
on
you
my F1 STEM OPT status.
are you India born?
Yeah, I am.
Are you married, sir?
No, I'm not.
Okay. So there is a problem with the I-140 because that's an immigrant visa. Whereas student status requires you to have no immigrant intention. Okay. But I'll tell you this. There seems to be a relaxed attitude. There's definitely that risk, which your employer's lawyers have pointed out. But there seems to be a relaxed attitude towards students, good students, bona fide students, genuine students who have been here. Because I know students who have received their student visa even while their 485 was pending. Okay. How did that come to be? Well, I remember cases. I'm trying to think what the exact circumstances. There were at least 16 people who got approvals. And this was during one of these crises on one of these universities that were fake universities. So I know students who've gotten their F1s visa stamping, not just travel, but actual visa stamping. It's very difficult for that to happen, but it can happen. Is this a risk? Definitely. Is this a risk you should take? Depends. It depends upon how you feel about having an early priority date. Because if you don't file within 6 months of getting the perm approval, the perm is gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know, sir.
Which is why I am reluctant on avoiding filing now, because I already have the perm approved and I can't file it.
I would do it.
Right? So,
I would do it if I were you.
Okay, yeah. And yeah, looking at the answer that you provided, I think it's a risk that I can take. Given this probability.
See, priority date is extremely important. The earlier you are in the queue, the better off you are, right?
Right. Yeah.
Good luck.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. Let's go to the last call, which is Arizona. Arizona, go ahead, please.
Hello, Rajiv. Hi, this is Akash. This is from I'm in Chicago for the quantum computing, and you know about my case, I guess.
Do I know about you? Hang on. Do I know about your
Yeah,
case?
yeah.
How do I know about your case? Remind me.
Like this is the quantum computing one.
Oh, yes, yes,
for
yes. I
H1B.
remember you. How are you?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. So basically, the question is a bit different from the, like, my H1B has got filed, so that's out of the picture.
You
Only
shouldn't
thing
be.
is,
Hang
while
on.
my H1B,
You are our client. You shouldn't be in this call. You should just call me directly. But it's okay. You are here. I'll talk to you.
I was just like a general question. That's why I thought, like,
You can still ask me. You can just email me.
question would be like,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
okay, fine.
I'll answer your
Oh,
question.
yeah. So my question would be, like, can I apply for, like, my employer is okay with filing for a green card and everything, but like, while I'm on F1 for the next 3 months, so can I apply for green card or start the process of PERM, or PERM is independent of the employer or something like that?
No, PERM is not independent of the employer. But the discussion I just had with the young man before you about the risk of traveling, etc., while on student visa and you have your green card going. For PERM is not green card. Okay. First of all, if we start your green card today, it will take me 7 months to file PERM, because 7 to 8 months, because that's how long it takes to get the first stage cleared. After we file PERM, at least 5-6 months more to I-140. So all of that is way down in the future. Okay. If you are okay with taking the risk of travel becoming an issue and you could be denied entry, and it could be said, no, come back on H1B when you are ready. If you are okay with that risk, because the kind of work you can do from anywhere, I would definitely file my green card. That's what I would do.
You would definitely what?
I would file my green card. I will start my PERM. Yeah.
Yeah. So my question was just like, I have 3 months on F1 till I get my H1B from October 1st. During this 3 months, can I start my PERM process?
Oh, absolutely. That is an easy answer. I'm sorry. I misunderstood your question. But yeah, that's an easy answer. Absolutely. Start now.
Okay.
Start tomorrow.
Okay. So the PERM can be started right away. And
Absolutely.
Then, meanwhile, it's not related to my name.
Yeah, actually,
employer, right?
and not only that, PERM is, the question on all immigration forms is, have you ever, or has anybody ever filed for you an immigrant visa? The answer is no, until you file the I-140, which is a year down the line. And in any case, on H1B, it doesn't matter. You're allowed to have a green card going.
Yeah. So my only question was, should I wait it out for 3 months?
No, absolutely not. Start tomorrow. Start today. Send an email to Sumanji, suman@immigration.com. Tell her to get your green card started.
Okay. I am in contact with Madhu or something I can get.
Madhu is way down in the on the totem pole. Sumanji is the VP of operations. Just send it to her directly. Or you can send it to me. Just send it to help@immigration. Send it to help@immigration.com.
I can do that.
By the way, I have to tell you.
And the second question.
Hang on, before you go any further, I want to tell you, you were my inspiration for going and trying out quantum computing algorithm on AWS. Because I didn't even know that you could actually use a quantum computer even now. Of course, it is only very few qubits, but you can still use it, right? So that was absolutely amazing. So I went on to AWS and I tried their quantum computing. You can do the simulator and you can actually send it to one of their quantum computing machines. They have 3 or 4 different types. So that was pretty amazing. I actually did one of those Hello World. That was my accomplishment for last.
QBraid.
Huh?
It's better than AWS. QBraid is better than the company QBraid, lab.QBraid. It's better with more better environment management and everything. It is above AWS, at least for quantum. This the company which you filed.
That is so cool. Yeah, maybe I'll
you have all the code and everything snippets.
I'll probably hit you guys
without paying for AWS.
But Akash, aren't you worried I'll take your job, man?
Yeah, sure.
I said, aren't.
Take that.
Okay, but go ahead. You had a second question.
I'm very secure.
Go ahead.
The question is, I've applied for my passport renewal because it's going to expire. So, and my H1B was on a different passport. That is not.
Nah, that's not an issue. Not a problem. Okay.
Yeah, that's it, I guess.
No worries. You are good to go. And tell your employer, he's a real nice guy. Tell him I said hi, okay?
Sure, I'll do that. Thank you.
Good luck. All right, folks, that brings us to the close of business today. It's always great hanging out with you. I'll see you next week on LinkedIn Audio, next Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye-bye.